Hi, everybody. My name is John Fisher. Welcome to accreditedinvestorleads.com. This is very redundant, and it's the same thing pretty much over and over again. The way we work it with these videos is we use keywords and then we answer those questions for you. So if you punch into Google, puppy dogs, then I would, go ahead and say, over here at puppydogs.com, what we do is we sell puppy dogs. So when someone goes into Google and punches in best private placement leads for oil projects, it's just something that has a high volume, 100 plus volume. So there's people going to Google and saying, hey, what's the best private placement leads for an oil project? The best private placement lead for an oil project is a vetted private placement memorandum recipient. The worst is Info USA, Lead Genie, Sales Genie, InvestorLeads.com. It's modeled information, zip +4, and wow, 7 cents a name, $350. What a deal. Good luck. Those people are clueless, and you're going to piss them off calling them up, let alone them trying to figure out what an accredited investor is or oil and gas investment. It doesn't work, guys. You think you can spend hundreds to raise millions. But you know what? I love those people at, not so much in Info USA, but InvestorLeads.com, because their clientele and my clientele are different. My clients wouldn't buy their stuff, and their clients should buy my stuff. But I have no hate, and I'm not slinging mud. But the question is, what's the best private placement leads for oil and gas? It's not Info USA, and it's not modeled information. What it is, a guy that a broker from a broker dealer selling oil and gas investments vetted the guy. You make $200,000 a year for the last 2 years, million net worth, not including your home. Have you got experience in managing your personal portfolio? Is $50,000 a comfortable entry level for a first-time investment? Is it risk capital and is it liquid? That's what you want. And then they get mailed a private placement memorandum. So if the broker went through that much trouble to make sure this guy was qualified, that maybe if he closed the guy, he'd get his 10% commission, is that a better lead than opening up, if they still have green pages, I don't know, and just pointing to somebody and calling him up out of the clear blue sky? He's never received a private placement memorandum. He's never been vetted, and you got to vet him. If you're selling a Reg D 506C, he must be accredited. And not only do you have to vet him, but before he comes on board, there's a whole vetting process where he's got to swear in his mother that he's an accredited investor. It could be an accountant. I don't know what the new rules are now, but believe me, these guys have to be accredited. And it's one thing when I sell you 100 names and he told the broker he was accredited. You may have some washout, maybe 5%. But, when you go into phone book, the washout will be incredible. And I want you to understand what they sell. They sell a zip +4 average. So everybody in your zip code divided by how many people are in that zip code, they divide it and everybody gets that number. So everybody be like 61 years old and have 347,000, home value. I mean, that's how that stuff works. And, I live in a high-end zip code that part of it is on the ocean and in the intercoastal. Those are $2, $3, $10, $20 million homes. I'm sure if they model my information, it's probably $2-3 million, and it's not. So the bottom line is, modeled information is caca. It does not work. I mean, you may get away with it in certain areas where it's just really, really high end, but those guys ain't going to give you the time of day. Let me tell you, if a guy has a $30 million or a $20 million or even a $2 million, $3 million home, you better be damn good, because what does he need you for? So I hope I answered your question. What is the best private placement leads for an oil project? And it's a private placement memorandum recipient, sold to you by accreditedinvestorleads.com. 50 cents a name, $5,000, $2,000. If you have a SAN number, we'll scrub for you. If you don't have a SAN number, we'll get you one. If you don't want one, you'll sign my indemnity letter. I'm not allowed to have a SAN number. I can't scrub for you. So you're responsible. If you want to buy leads that are not scrubbed, that's your responsibility, not mine. I do have 1.4 million troublemakers. You want to be aware of what a DNC litigator is. I had people, I've been doing this for 17 years, never had a problem with that DNC. It's not a problem, so it's like, okay, all right, that's what you say so. I don't think it's sustainable. I hope to God that, Trump does something with it, maybe gives you guys licenses or gives you exemptions. But how could they cut off 250 million people to this kind of an industry? That's a viable industry. I mean, a lot of money is raised for private placements, and It's big. I mean, it's a big industry. And the precious metals market. I like precious metals and I like private placement. Why? The private placement, the guy's sophisticated, and you got to be pretty sharp to rip those people off. And on the precious metal side, they're getting a tangible. So they're getting an ounce of gold, and no matter what, the ounce of gold today is worth $2,943. So no matter how much he marks up that ounce of gold is still worth that day today, 29.43 or whatever it is. So to me, that's I could sleep at night knowing that that's what's going on. Hey, I just bought silver. I bought 1,000 ounces of silver. I think it was at $31, and I think I paid $36 because I wanted silver eagles. So these coins carry premiums. Where if you buy a bar, it's different. But again, to answer your questions, you want to deal with someone that's been doing this for a long time, such as ourselves. We're in our 35th year right now. October will have 35 years, and believe me, the not what is the best, the only lead that you should use for an oil project is a private placement memorandum recipient. Any questions, call me 561-239-0364. Have a beautiful day and God bless.